These are our memories of this whole time here at Cornerstone.
I remember Miss Champion and Mrs. Smith and all of us kindergartners at the marshmallow fight on the playground. I also remember Apple Day wearing red or green and trying to eat apples on a string. We got to ride a real horse on rodeo day.
In first grade, Mrs. Seligman read us books by Patricia Polacco and other great read-aloud books.
We also got to go to the pumpkin patch, and Abby got a blue pumpkin.
We made applesauce at Thanksgiving time in Mrs. Sexton's class.
We also liked Mrs. Seligman's pet frog, Hermit.
In second grade, we had a Spanish party, and the high schoolers from Pusch Ridge came to play with us and teach us.
Mrs. Mason brought in a coffee grinder, and we got to grind coffee.
We also did a play about Martin Luther King Jr. We got to go to Mrs. Brobeck's house and play with her guinea pig.
We liked using the pointers in Mrs. Mason's room. I remember the amazing science projects we did with Mrs. Sewell.
Also, she brought in balloons for everyone on Valentine's Day. She was small in size but big at heart. Mrs. Leon told us funny stories, and she was very nice.
Mrs. Sewell dressed up as Darth Vader to teach us to write a descriptive essay. We often would have a food fear factor. I remember Mrs. Walker playing songs for us.
Mrs. Kropp would have silly songs on Fridays and funny ways to greet us.
We performed a Christmas play during chapel.
We liked to walk like an Egyptian and the Greek festival.
We made the Nile River in the garden. That year, we got to go to the planetarium.
In fifth grade, Mrs. Bergener pretended to be an Indian chief, and Mrs. Babe was Mr. Stacy for the Oregon Trail.
One day in class, Mrs. Babe started a sentence with, "I propose," and support interrupted her, "To who?"
Let's just say Mrs. Babe was not happy. We had a medieval feast, and we did characters on the couch for the Shakespeare Festival. We also got to make castles.
We all had fun in sixth grade at Catalina Island.
There was much information to learn, but we had fun learning it. We went to the federal courthouse to see many people become citizens, and Abby's grandfather, Judge Burry, showed us around his courtroom. We also remember Mr. Hauschelt's funny ties. Mr. Hauschelt would throw erasers at people talking.
He was sarcastic but supportive and fun. We also had very intense Bible classes.